Hey guys, Mr. Princhak here. Pre-calculus unit 0, prerequisite skills. Let's rock and roll. Solving linear equations. I can't believe I'm making a video over this. You guys should be awesome at this, especially in an honors level course, but I'll do a couple of examples just in case you forgot over the summer. All right, linear means that the highest power on the variable is 1. The same variable can be repeated. You might see a couple different x's throughout the problem, but the highest power on that variable is 1. That makes it linear. So, 3x plus 2, that's linear. Negative 5x minus 7, that's linear. 3x minus 7 plus 2x minus 1, that's still linear. You would just combine those and say 5x minus 8. All right, it's still linear. But the moment you see an x squared or an x cubed or an x to the 4th or an xy to the 15th power, sorry, no longer linear. All right, you get the point. All right, so here's a really basic, I guess in terms of algebra, this might be an advanced equation, but for you guys, this should be easy. Everybody knows what to do with these parentheses. Let's just dive right into it. Distribute 4x minus 6 plus 3x plus 3 equals 5x plus 2. I know it's silly for me to talk about distribution, but you can't believe how many kids, even at your level, still make simple mistakes. So really take the time to check your work. All right, let's combine like terms here. A 4x and a 3x is a 7x. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3 equals 5x plus 2. And yeah, you guys are smart. I'm not going to show all my work. Ooh, let me show you the combining. I just do it in your head. You guys are smart. Come on. Subtract the 5x over. We do, one of the rules you might have learned in algebra is that we like to move things to the side where they stay positive. Obviously, I could subtract the 7x to the other side because you guys are old enough. You could deal with negatives, not that big of a deal. But I'm going to subtract the 5x to the other side and get 2x. I'm going to add the 3. Oh my God, I did 2 steps at once. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Come on, guys. This is an honors class. And then there's one more final step, divide each side by 2, and I get x equals 5 halves. I love fractions. They're amazing. I also like terminating decimals. So 5 halves is 2.5. I love that answer as well. But be careful. If the answer is 1/3, don't you dare say 0.3. Don't you dare say 0.33. I don't even like these line things. This is the exact answer. 1/3 is exactly 1/3. Anytime you try to use a series of 3s, 0.3, 0.3, 0.3, it's technically not right. Leave the fraction in that case. But if it's terminating like 2.5, I don't mind decimals. All right, let's try another example here. Pretty equally as easy. One thing to watch out for, though. We get it 8x minus 12. Be very careful. This negative is attached to that too. So that's negative 2x, negative 10. Once again, such a small thing, but I can't tell you how many kids put a plus 10 there. Be very, very careful. Take your time. Combining like terms, 6x minus 22 equals 7x. 8x minus 2x is 6x, the negative 12, the negative 10, there's my negative 22. All right, now at this point, you can move the 7x over. You can do whatever you want, right, as long as you get the right answer. But I'm going to move the 6x over. So negative 22 equals x. Oh, that was easy. 7x minus 6x is 1x. And there is your nice exact answer. Very simple. All right, here is one where it's like, all right, it's linear. I only see y's to the first. There's no y squares or anything like that. Now I got to figure out fractions. Everybody's afraid of fractions. Oh, they scare everybody. All right, couple different things you could do to get rid of fractions, right? One thing you could do is multiply everything by the greatest common denominator. So between the 8 and the 4, and technically you can even put a 1 there beneath the 2. So between the 8, the 4, and the 1, the greatest is 8. So you can multiply everything by 8. So you literally are going to distribute an 8 through everything, right? So I'm going to multiply everything by 8. Now, when I multiply this part right here by 8, right, this fraction is one thing. I know the numerator has 5y minus 2. It's got 2 terms up there. But as a group, this is one fraction. So when I multiply by 8, the 8's cancel, and I get 5y minus 2. A lot of you might say, well, wait a minute, don't you have to distribute the 8? And wouldn't that be 40y minus 16? No. Remember, it's a fraction. 5y minus 2 is one number, right? It's one number. There's 2 terms there, but whatever y is, if you whisper, y is 1, well, then all of a sudden that becomes 3. So 5y minus 2 is one number. When you multiply 5y minus 2 over 8 by 8, the 8's cancel, and the 5y minus 2 is all that's left. Now when I multiply 8 on the other side, I am going to go to this fraction and this fraction. So 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times y over 4, the 8 and the 4 reduce to a 2y, right? Because 8 fourths is 2, so 2y. So that's one way to do it. Another thing that some kids may have learned is, to cross multiply. But you cannot cross multiply, please note this, until you have one fraction on each side. It's got to be a fraction on the left, 1, and one fraction on the right. So if I'm going to cross multiply, I need to combine these together on the right. I need to get that right-hand side to be one fraction. So to do that, I need a common denominator, which is going to be 4. So I'm going to do, let's see, if I want this to be a 4, I got to multiply the top and the bottom by 4, which gives me 8 plus y, sorry if I'm messing handwriting there, all divided by 4, right? That would be the same thing. 8 divided by 4 is a 2, y divided by 4 is y divided by 4. So once you have the right side as one fraction, then you could cross multiply. Now the numbers are actually going to be a little bit bigger, but you will get the same final answer in the end. So let me kind of put a dotted line here, so I'll do it in red as well. All right, so if I now take 5y minus 2 over 8 and cross multiply, let's see here, I get 4 times 5y minus 2 equals 8 times 8 plus y. All right, now these look very different, but they're going to get the same answer at the end. So let me finish the blue real quick. If I do it that way, subtract the 2y over, I get 3y. Add the 2, I get 18. Y equals a beautiful 6. On the right-hand side, if I did it this little bit of a longer way, let's see, get 20y minus 8 equals 64 plus 8y. Subtract the 8y, get 12y. Add the 8, I get 72. And guess what? 72 divided by 12. Honestly, if you don't believe me, grab a calculator. I mean, I really couldn't doubt you, but I'm telling you, it's 6. So you do get 6 either way. So there's a couple different ways that you could deal with fractions. But, here's the overall, I guess, point, is if you don't know how to handle fractions when you see them in an algebraic expression or an algebraic equation, boy, you're not going to do very well in this class, I'll tell you that much, because you've got to be able to handle fractions. We're going to see them all the time. All right, one more example for this video. This is another linear, but notice, it's linear because I got an x to the first, and I got another x to the first, but I got one fraction on the left and one fraction on the right, so that's kind of nice. This is, I can just go ahead and cross multiply right away. So I got 4 times 3x minus 2, and I got negative 3 times 2x minus 1. All right, let's talk about this negative real quick here. This negative could go on the 3 or the 4. Honestly, it's up to you. I don't care. I could have put the negative on the 4 and a positive on the 3. But the point is it doesn't go to both, because two negatives, we all know, makes a positive. So there's a negative in front of a fraction. The negative can only go in one place. It could go on the top and go on the bottom. It can't go on both. You pick. It doesn't matter. Most people are going to go pick the top. That's fine. All right, let me go ahead and distribute here. 12x minus 8 equals negative 6x plus 3. Carry that negative, don't forget. And let's see, I'm going to add the 6 to this side and get 18x. Add the 8 to the other side and get 11. X equals 11/18. It's kind of an ugly answer, but that's the answer I want. All right, now that you guys know a little bit about interval, I'm fine with this answer. Gosh, I love this answer. The answer is 11/18, right? But, we talked about interval notation in a previous video, and, might say, well, what's interval notation for a single number? Like, how do you express a single number in interval notation? Well, you literally just use brackets. We'll say the answer is 11/18. That's it. Just put that answer in brackets. So that's another acceptable answer, I guess, if you wanted. But again, that's it. Hopefully you guys understand. Just the one thing, I know you guys are good at solving equations. Just be super careful with fractions, please. We'll get a lot of practice with it. Trust me.